Hi students, welcome to week 4 in senior seminar. I fixed my camera. It was really easy. I just Googled it and I basically just had to reset, of course. But anyway, I want to go over what's going on for this week. And so let me start here. Okay, so for this week, the activity, you're going to be finalizing um, your roles. This is a section that's in your final paper, final project paper. So last week I had you individually write a description of what your role was going to be for this project. So for this week, your one of your activities is going to be to put all of those descriptions, each one of those descriptions together. And I'll show you more about the instructions on that. But as you do that, I want you to start thinking about, there's a section in your final paper, and it's for partial funding adjustments. And this is kind of what you need to do early on in a project. You want to start thinking about what happens if somebody gets sick or they are taking too many classes and they're not able to do the work they said they were going to do. So as you're putting together all the roles descriptions for this week, start thinking about what you would do if one of the people dropped out or they just couldn't do what they were supposed to do. What would be your plan B? Okay, and then I'm going to have you. That's going to be another part of your assignment. So the first online activity, and this is all up on Blackboard already. So part 1, this is with your team. Just create the final write-up for the roles, and this is going to go into your final paper document that you started. So with this, I want you to also include the names, so you have the names and then the titles. The titles are titles that you make up yourself. Okay, so it could be front-end developer, back-end developer. What else? Marketing manager or project manager. So these are titles that you've started to come up with as I've been reading through your work. So that's what I'd like you to do is put that all together, and I suggest putting it right on your document. I do want you to submit a copy of that section to me, not the whole document. Um, Not your final paper document that you have already created, but just that section, your final rules, write up, because I want to read it and I want to give you some feedback on it. And then part 2, we did this last week, just create a sprint for next week. So what will each of you been working on for the project for the week? And again, do this in Trello and just create a screenshot of the sprint page with your tasks that you are going to be working on for the week, and just submit part 1 and part 2 to Blackboard. And this is due the Monday before class, so that's the 19th. Okay. So you're going to have your first Scrum next week, and this is where this is going to become a weekly thing. And I set up a Scrum forum on Blackboard. I'll show you where that is. So each team will have a Scrum, and basically what you will do beginning next week is each of you will answer these 3 questions right on the Scrum forum. And so you'll put your team name, and or maybe I can set those up, but I'll figure out how I'm going to do that. So these are 3 questions. So what did you do since your last meeting? So what did you do for the past week for your project to move the project forward? And I'm not talking about the assignments that I'm giving you. I'm talking about what did you do to working on the project itself. And then what will you do until the next meeting? So looking ahead, what will you be working on? And then, is something blocking you? Did you run into a wall. You're looking at some tools that you want to use, and you aren't finding what you want. So those are the three questions, and each person in the team will post the answers to these questions, question 1, 2, and 3, right in the Scrum forum. And then I'm going to want each team to come up with at least one question for each of the other teams. And it'll be, a question about their Scrum. Read through the Scrum, and then just ask a question. Okay, but I will put all these instructions up next week. That we're not doing that this week. That will be for next week. Okay. And then, so you have for this week an individual assignment, and it's the partial funding reflection. And that's where I want you to individually just think about, what's our plan B if Michael is not going to be able to do the front end, who's going to do it? Who would take that over? So just think about the tasks that you have and their project, and what exactly would you guys do? I don't know why that has happened. If something happened, so it's a plan B, and I want you to and I want you to submit your reflection to probably a couple paragraphs. You also have an online activity for the week, and that's the benchmarking strategies write-up, Zotero. I'm going to go to this and I'll show you what that is. And then you have your final roles write-up. And next week we have the Scrum and the partial funding write-up, which is that section, another section in your paper. I want you guys to start posting on Piazza. Post questions on there. This is actually 5% of your grade. As you start working on your projects, you're going to come up with things. So I would like to see some activity on Piazza. Okay. So week 4. Here's the Scrum forum. This is a discussion board that everybody can access, and this is where I'm going to have your Scrum for next week. Okay, it's not up there yet. So week 4. So here's your individual assignment, and this is where you just write a paragraph about your plan B. Okay, and this is gonna go into a final version next week. So the cool thing is, pretty much all the assignments that I'm giving you are being put into your final paper document. So by the end of the semester, it's going to be all written. You're going to be like, wow, oh my gosh, this whole paper is pretty much done, which is cool, I think. All right, so your online activities are on your group discussion board, and this week it's the Lit Review benchmarking strategy. And this is where, and I'll go there and show you, but this is the link that you will submit your team Lit Review. And then here are the instructions for the final roles write-up and the sprint. Okay, so those are both due on the 19th. So if we go to groups, okay, so here's your Lit Review benchmarking strategy. So part 1, I want you to individually write up your benchmarking sources, the table that you did for last week, and just write it up as a paragraph or two using the content from your table. This is going into your literature review for your final project. This is part of your literature review. And you're going to have other sources, obviously, but this is the beginning, because you've been doing research on the different applications, and this is going to be included. So I want you to create a new collection folder in Zotero. Y'all have Zotero installed, and then I want you to create a big bibliography from the item. So that would be the web page that you had for your benchmarking sources, and then create a bibliography, so a citation from that. You just right-click on it and it says create a bibliography. I can actually show you real quick. And then take a screenshot of your Zotero entry, and then post your paragraph, your citation, and your Zotero screenshot here on this forum. And that's due on the 16th. Okay, and then part 2 is due on the 19th. So then I want you to put all of these paragraphs together in a coherent format, because some of you, I think, had a few of the same applications, so you might have to combine those paragraphs. But this is, again, this is going to be part of your final lit review. So do use APA style for the citations, and so what you're going to submit is a complete, combined, each paragraph from each team member of the sources that they used, and also a list of the bibliography. So this will be submitted to Blackboard. Okay, so this is a big chunk. This will be a big chunk of your literature review that you're going to be completing, which is cool. Okay, and that's due on the 19th. So the only thing that's due like right away is on the 16th, and that's where you're going to be writing your paragraph. The rest is due on the 19th. And let me just see if I have my Zotero here. I do on this machine. Okay. No, I don't really have anything. Okay, so do I have? All right, so here's my Zotero. I don't use this one. I use my all right, so it's open. So you have to have it open, and then so say I go to a web page. I go to Stack Overflow, and I want a question. Here's a page. So may I ask a question, and they gave me an answer. Okay, so here you go to, I believe it's this. Yes. So this is my, see right up here in the right corner, you can have a little icon that says Save to Zotero. Boom. And now it's going into my library. And then, so there it is, okay? So to create a new collection, you just go over here, New Collection, and you say $4.99, boom. And then, all right, so I'm going to say $4.99. I'm going to grab that thing again. I'm going to grab this metadata. And then I'm going to go back. Okay, so it's here. So you right-click, and right here it says Create Bibliography from Item. And then you want to say APA. And then it's going to say, ask you what you want to do here. And I want to copy to clipboard. Or you can save it, whatever. I'm just copy it. And then I say, okay. And now it's copied. So then you can open up text edit. I should have just leave it. That's the other thing. Well, whatever. All right, so text edit, new document. And then I'm going to paste it. So there you go. There's your citation. All right. So that's what I want. I want you to submit. And then, so if you keep everything in a folder like this, every time you search something, you just hit this icon and it just saves it. And so if it's articles, the little PDF thing will come up, and so this is how the Zotero works. Okay, and at the very end, you can have all of your sources in here, and then all you have to do is highlight them all and say create a bibliography, and there you do. There you have your whole bibliography, and it's done right. It's not like a lot of those sites on online. They're not very good. The Zotero gives you the right stuff. So so that's it. That's it for this week. I'm still working through. I'm going to finish looking at your roles, because you're going to need to use and give you feedback on those today, and then you will, because you will be using those for the team activity, putting that all together. So I will have those done. I'll start working on them like right after this, and they should be finished. And I guess that's probably it. So email me if you have any questions about what's going on for this week, and I'll get back to you. Also, if you want to have a hangout meeting, I can do that. That's not a problem. Just let me know. When's a good time. And I hope you guys are as excited about your projects as I am. And yeah, that's it. So have a good week, and I will see you next week. Okay? All right. I always forget how to turn this thing off. All right. Okay, bye.